All right, so we're gonna type in ifconfig or IPA. Let me see if they color it on Ubuntu. No, they don't. It's not colored. But there's our IP address right here. If we did ifconfig, you'd see the same thing. It's right here. And I'm just running this to see if they have similar IPs. This IP. Okay, yeah, so they're on the same network. 192.168.233. 192.168.233. The Ubuntu machine, the Splunk machine, has an IP of 144, and our IP is 142. So they're on the same network, right? I can even ping it, and we're saying, hey, are you there? Hey, are you there? Hey, are you there? I mean, it's saying, yes, I'm here. 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 So we have connection to that box. You see these troubleshooting commands we talked about? That's what you use them for. So we want, what do we want to do? This is us on, or let's do it like this. This is the Shinobi machine right here. And this is the Splunk server. We want to manage this Splunk server. So we want to log into it and update it. In order for us to log into it, we have to use SSH, which means we need public and private keys. We have to create these, okay? The private key is gonna stay with us. I mean, they're both gonna stay with us, right? They're both gonna be on our computer. We just have to send a copy of our public key to the server we're trying to log into. Once that's there, we use SSH to log into this. It's gonna look at our keys to see if they go together. If it does, you get to log in. What we can also do is use a password. So we can use keys and a password. So after you verify these keys right here, make sure that they are a pair, then it will ask for a password. You can do that, but I'm not gonna do that. I like just using keys without a password. It makes things quicker. I don't have to type in that, do that extra step. And keys are stronger than passwords. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's actually create another user. We're gonna make a user called, let's use Terrence. And the reason I have to use sudo, and this is something that you do need to know. The reason you see me type sudo before certain commands is because certain commands must be run as administrator. Certain commands have to be run as the administrator. It says, I tried to use the add user command. Add user, Terrence. It says only root may add a user or group to the system. Only administrator may add a user or group to the system. Root is admin on Linux. Sudo is a group. Okay, sudo is a group. It's just a group of administrators, right? But on Linux, we call that group sudo. I'm in the sudo group, right? This account that we're using right now, Shinobi, they're in the administrator group. So when I run sudo before a command, it's gonna use admin privileges to run that command. It's like on a Windows box. If you try to download something on a Windows operating system or you try to change your firewall, it's gonna ask you for the administrator's username and password. That's the same thing we're doing right here. So let's add Terrence. It's gonna ask me for the sudo password. All right, Terrence, we're gonna give Terrence a password of keep it simple. All right, so Terrence has an account now. We're gonna switch over to Terrence's account. I'm gonna use the switch user command and give Terrence's password. Now we're Terrence. Type who am I? It says we are Terrence. All right, we are in Terrence's home directory. If we want to SSH, so what we're gonna do is actually use this computer to SSH into Terrence's account here. So we need to make keys first. So we're gonna just do, I don't think it's SSH-keygen. This is the command, and we're gonna talk about this later because there are a lot of exam questions that ask for this process that we're gonna do. You're supposed to drag and drop the process, but we'll come back to that towards the week 8, week 9. So we're gonna create these keys. We're gonna say RSA keys. We're picking the algorithm. All right, we're running this command to create keys. Remember when we created keys using PuTTY? We're doing the same thing right now, but it's from the terminal, the command line. We're picking the RSA keys, and we're gonna use a 2048-bit size key. Okay, we're gonna create this. It's gonna store the keys under Terrence's SSH directory. Do we want to give a password for this? No. Remember, we don't want to do that extra step. Okay, let's go to that directory. ls to list out the files. Here's Terrence's private key. Here's his public key. So if we want to SSH into this computer over here, well, what we were supposed to do, oh, forget it. We'll do it backwards. We'll add an account here for Terrence. Password. So we have an account here for Terrence. All right, we're gonna SSH into this Terrence account. So what do we need to do now? We have our keys. Remember, the first step was create your keys. The first step was create your keys, and we did it with this command. All right, SSH keygen -t RSA. After we create our keys, we need to copy this public key over to this system. There is a command we can use to do that, but I'm not gonna do that right now. I'm gonna keep it simple so you all see what's going on. What does the cat command do, guys and girls?
It searches within the file.
It opens up a file.
Yeah, open.
Yeah, keep it simple. It's gonna open up that file. This is our public key that it just opened up. I'm just gonna copy it. Instead of using that command, I'm just gonna copy it so you can see. And I'm gonna go back over to this computer. What's the name of the file? id_rsa.pub. I'm going to use a text editor called Nano. Just think of it as Notepad to make a file called id_rsa.pub. Paste the key in here. Save that. We can open it up. That's the key. But actually, I think the public key needs to be in a file called authorized keys. So I'm going to copy everything here. I'm going to use the copy command to copy this file that we just created. Go to another file called authorized keys. So we should have two. We have id_rsa.pub and we have authorized keys. Because I think this is where the public key needs to be at. So now what we're going to do is try to SSH into Terrence's account on this machine, but we need his IP address. And port refused. I think we have to turn on SSH first. Forgot, hold up. Sudo app. Okay. I gotta, oh man. Okay. Got to install SSH first. Right. In order for this to work, you need SSH on both ends. It's not magical. SSH has to be started, and then you have to start the service. So right now, if I run netstat to see what ports I have open, okay, we got 22 open now. Okay, yeah, we got 22 open now. So you can see port 22 is open. You can see port 53 is open. All right, let me see. All right, this service is started now. Okay, it's running. Let's try this again. All right, so we just tried to SSH into that box. The first thing, there's gonna be an exam question about this right here. We just tried to SSH into this box over here. Ubuntu is the operating system. We just tried to SSH into it. What SSH does, every time you try to log into a new box, it's going to take the fingerprint of this box and match it with this file called with your host file. Let's just say that. I think it's authorized keys though. It's gonna match it. It's gonna see if you have this fingerprint. If you don't have it, it's gonna tell you, hey, we don't know this fingerprint. Are you sure you wanna log into that box? If you're sure, just type yes. If you're not sure, type no. SSH is gonna let you know, hey, we've never logged into this machine before. How does SSH know that? Because it doesn't have this fingerprint stored. So before you log in, it's gonna tell you. If you wanna log in, you can. If you don't, you don't. Why does it tell us this? Because it's trying to prevent a man-in-the-middle attack. It's trying to prevent you from logging into the wrong machine. So double check the IP address that you're logging into. We are trying to log into this box. So I'm gonna hit yes. And now we are logged in to Terrence on that Ubuntu box. Right, that's why the color is different here than from here. See on this machine that we're on right now, like with this guy, this machine is called Ombu Black Ops. This machine right here is called Ubuntu. This is the machine. This is the username. This is the machine. This is the username. All right, that's how SSH works. Any questions, y'all? SSH is a management protocol. All right, it is a management protocol. Why? Because we can use it to manage other devices. I'm logged into this Ubuntu device now. I can go ahead and run updates. Right, we had Splunk started. Oh, I don't have sudo powers though. I could try to stop Splunk. And let me just show you, Terrence, he's not in the sudo group. So if I try to stop Splunk, I try to stop this, it's gonna ask me for the sudo password. Terrence is not in the sudo group. So now this computer is about to snitch on him because he just tried to run something with sudo, with admin powers. So now the computer is about to snitch. This incident will be reported. Shame on you.